think that's what I wrote today. So you can look at that a couple different ways. You could say almost 32% of all gas stations has between this and this. You could say I have a 32% chance of picking a random gas station and it will have between this and this. Those mean exactly the same thing. Right, so if 50% of the people in this room are women, what's the probability I pick a woman if I pick somebody at random? 50%. So they're the same thing. Relative frequency is the same as probability. Oh.
So with these papers, I thought you could combine
So notice on the first three problems, they are already z-scores. So in this process, I don't have to do this step. They're already z-scores, aren't they? And number one, that's already a z-score, right?
Yeah. That's, what is it, 6.2?
Oh crap, that was it. Oh, there it is. All right, that's fine. Basically, this is both 6.2 and 6.3. I'm gonna have to ask the question because there are several things I don't like in this book, but there's a lot more that I like about it. But one thing I don't like is that section 6.2, they make it temperatures with a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. Those are z-scores. Z-scores have a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1, right? So 6.2 are all problems like this. There will be no need for the z-score formula because there already are z-scores. Cool? 6.3 is like this one. They give me raw scores. They give me times that it takes to find a parking spot. I need to make those into z-scores. So 6.2 and 6.3 are really the same stupid problem. It's just that one of them, you have one extra step. You got to make your own z-scores.
And on a quiz or a test, we're going to find a z. You're going to give us the z-score, correct?
Well, I'll give you a mixture of the two. Yeah. That helps me figure out if you have a mistake, where the mistake happens. Yeah. So like these plus this. Together. Cool. So guys, for z-scores, what goes right in the middle? 0. So where's 1.51?
It's on the right side.
It's got to be up here. No question, right? Because what kind of numbers are down here? Negative numbers. Sorry. So 1.51's got to be up there. And I'm asking for the area below that, right? Oh, cool. Thank you.
I didn't, but it's like the front and the back, and I just redid every problem, so it's easier for me.
Okay, all right.
So.
Thank you.
So with that, how do you want that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to figure it out. So real quick, guys, that very first one, when you look at 1.5 and the second decimal place is up top, 1.51, is that the answer?
No, it's one minus that, right?
Careful.
No, that's the answer. That's the answer.
Oh shit, I hit the wrong one. Ah. All right. The question wants the area below. The chart gives you the area below. So the number I found is the answer.
The next one is
Exactly. If they ask me for greater than, there is a shortcut, but I'm not going to tell you yet until you get used to this a little bit better.
So that's the answer? That's it?
That's it? Yeah. Okay, I got this thing figured out.
So the second one you look at the right.
So here I got, where's negative 0.44? Over here. And I want greater than. So just like in algebra, the direction of inequality tells you which way to shade. Right? I don't think you guys ever knew that, but. So when I look up negative 0.44, I'm not going to get the answer, but I'm going to get the thing that gives me the answer, right? Let's see if I know.
You know what confuses me? Yeah.
Okay. So if I get negative 0.44,
Give 0.3300.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. We just did that. That's right. So this will be 0.33. So what's this area here?
We can't see it.
You must.
Oh, shoot.
I mean,
So this is 0.33?
You do 1 minus 0.33.
Exactly.
So that's the rule of thumb is greater than, less than. If it's greater than, you're subtracting from one.
Basically, because the chart only knows less than. So if you have a greater than question, you're going to have to do 1 minus.
That's the
Real quick, I'm not going to say any more about this than this. What do you get when you look up? Actually, now I forgot which button. Okay. When you look up positive 0.44, what do you get? Look up positive 0.44. No, Jeff. Don't you get the answer? And it's because of the symmetry. If you think about it. If I want this area, right, then I look up negative 0.44. But the area on this side, isn't it the same as the area that would be below positive 0.44? Isn't that the same area? The symmetry? If you don't quite understand that, that's not a problem. I actually sort of would rather you do it the 1 minus way, right? Because then people sometimes use that shortcut too often. But if you see it, it's the symmetry. If I want negative 0.4 above, I can just look up positive 0.4 and it tells me the answer because of the symmetry in this. It's symmetric. Wiggy, wiggy, wiggy.
So what the like number 2? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you can see a person like you squinting, say the X on the left is 1 on the left. How can you arms pick up on the left?
Say again?
X, you see the one that says X is greater?
Greater than, yeah.
How can you shape your left?
I shaded here.
Up with your arrow.
When I looked up the z-score, it always gives me the area below. So, of course, that's where I'm going to put that. And that's what tells me I don't have the answer yet. So whenever you look up a z-score, if you look that z-score up directly, you better put the area below the thing you looked at. I don't care what the question is. That's what the chart tells me. Then you go, oh shit, that's not the answer. I want that side. Right? Because that chart, single-minded. It always tells you the area below.
So I'm confused to see that because you have the 2.
So you do one at a time. Right? So on part C, you got negative 1.98. Am I on this here? Yeah. And you got negative 3.21. So the area in here.
Yeah. And negative 3.21 is 0.0007.
So if I look up negative 1.98, it's going to be too much, right? It's going to go too far.
Oh, yeah.
What do you get when you look up negative 1.98?
0.0239.
Cool. So here's 0.0239. What do you look when you get up? What do you look when you get up? What do you get when you look up negative 3.21?
0.0007.
3.21, yeah. So what's the area in between those? Just subtract them, right? 0232, yeah. Sounds like a droid from Star Wars. That's it. Right? So if you ever want area between two z-scores, you're going to end up subtracting two areas. Never subtract z-scores. I always get people that will subtract these. If you subtract z-scores, you are now somewhere else. Do you understand? Z-scores tell you where you are. Subtract two z-scores, you're now somewhere else. That's no good. I want to subtract areas, not z-scores. What do you guys think about number 2?
Can you do that one again? See?
That doesn't help. Come on.
Okay.
What do you think about number 2? What does that symbol mean? P29, what does that mean? Percentile. So if you're in the 29th percentile, are you in the happy spot or the sad spot? Are you happy? You got to, oh yeah. Are you sad? Oh. You're sad. You only scored greater than what percentage of everybody else? 29%. So this problem is backwards. What do we normally have? We normally have a z-score, and I look up the area. What do we have in this problem? We have the area, don't we? Because what percentage is this? What percentage is below this? It tells you, 29%. That's what it means to be in the 20. So I'm saying find the z-score that has 29% below it. That's what percentile 29 means. So this is 0.29. Notice how you always put areas on top, z-scores on the bottom, because they look like each other. Evil things. 0.29, if I put it down here, wouldn't it look like a z-score? It looked like a z-score, right? So I don't want to do that. I was thinking back to Mad. Everybody ever watched Mad TV? Look like a Mad. So 0.29 is the area. How in the world then do I find the z-score for that? It's been too long now. I forget which button it is. Oh. Where are areas here on this chart? Where are the areas? Where are the areas? No, I know what you mean. They're below, but aren't all these areas in the middle? So if you have a z-score, you look on the outside and you go in. If you have an area, look on the inside and you go out. If you want to find the corresponding z-score, right? So the area is 0.29 for 29th percentile. What's the closest you guys can get to 0.29? Do you see where I'm looking down here? 0.22. Which one of those is closer to 0.29? Exactly. It's only 12 away. This is 23 away. Right? 77, is that 23 away from a full? So right here, the closest I can get to 29% is this one. What z-score corresponds to this? Negative 0.5, whatever the hell that is. Where am I at? Here? Negative 0.55. That means this z-score is negative 0.55. Why does that make sense? Because since it's below the average, it better be